Just a warning, there is a little bit of language with this video.
Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky.
Not in the sky, but go on.
Who watches everything you do every minute of every day.
Yeah, okay.
And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do.
Actually, it's closer to like 200 something, but yeah, keep going.
And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time.
Yeah, he does have a place prepared, but it wasn't meant for us. It was actually meant for the devil and his angels because they were the first to rebel. It was made for them. It was their punishment. But because we have chosen to sin, then we take part in that same punishment.
But he loves you.
Yes, he loves you because he could just leave you to your fate. But instead, we have John 3:16. For God so loved the world. Now, the word so there is not how we use it in our English. It's not so as in God so much loved the world. No, it's so as in this is the way in which God loved the world, that he gave his only son. Jesus died for you. If someone dies for you, how is that not loving? He gave you a free way out and died in order to do it.
He loves you and he needs money. He always needs money.
That's a valid criticism. God doesn't need your money. I'll make that clear. God does want you to give because he wants you to learn to trust him, to trust in his provision. But yes, that whole thing has been abused by the church for a very long time. Whether it is paying to get to heaven through indulgences or taking extra offerings or financial scandals. Yeah, unfortunately, that is a valid criticism, but God himself does not need your money. If you give begrudgingly, stop giving. God wants a cheerful giver. You got to heal that in your heart before you worry about it.
He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money.
Oh, he can handle money just fine. The problem is that he has put us as stewards in charge of the resources, because the people who are in charge of the money, they're being tested too, and sometimes they fail.
I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know, when it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really, really tried. I tried to believe that there is a God who created each of us in his own image and likeness, loves us very much, and keeps a close eye on things.
A lot of people say they have tried and it didn't work for them. They just couldn't believe it. But the problem is that the Bible tells us that everyone does know. Everybody inherently knows. We know in our soul that it's true. So if he came to the conclusion that it's just not possible that things could be this bad and there be a God who is loving and watches over us, then he had some biased reasons for not choosing. Now, he lived a life of sin and excess, and very possibly, like most people who reject God, he did it out of not wanting to give up any of his sins. So while I do believe part of him wanted to believe it, I do believe he had biased reasons for rejecting the idea.
I really tried to believe that, but I got to tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is wrong here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice-capades. Something is definitely wrong. This is not good work. If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed.
Well, yeah, if this was the best God could do, I wouldn't be impressed either. But God has given stewardship of the world to men, and men handed it over to Satan. Satan is called the ruler of this world right now. So it is men's failed stewardship being tempted by Satan constantly that has messed this world up. Yeah, there's all those problems. Can't really speak to the ice-capades, but it is not God's doing. It's not God's management. It is his sub-management, his subcontracting.
Results like these do not belong on the resume of a supreme being. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude.
Point made.